Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30 this Thursday, April 16th, and we got a market which is pretty much holding in the range. So we haven't really rallied to the upside and held it. We haven't really sold off either. We have been just flopping around quite a bit. We've been net to the upside. So I would say that we are in a pretty good spot to keep moving to the upside. But then again, it's like as long as they extend to the upside, we are technically in price discovery and they move out of the middle to the upside. So that's kind of the dynamic we are looking at. Now, the you can always second guess it and think that okay, this is going to it's going to knock it down pretty soon, and that may very well happen. But at this point, I mean, I would be very much leaning towards the long side of this. If these couple of days of totally rallying to the upside, the fact that we only get a holding day is good. If we get another holding day, retest, and a failure, that would be more of a short trade setup at that point. But I would lean into that short after they take out that 7,030. So if they take out and go down and reverse retest 7,030, 40, 50 here, I would look to that still look at those as buying opportunities. So if they start trading down here to the 60s, well, 60 would be aggressive, but the 50s here probably going to be 45s, given that this took. I'm going to adjust this edge a bit. So 45s, 35s, down to the 15s here for rotations up. And I would say the 35s, the 45s, and the 35s are going to be the ones to pay attention to on the downside. They start taking out that 35s, I think we may have an issue and looking maybe for a retracement trade to lower prices. So that's the way I'm looking at it right now, going into this overnight. Now going into tomorrow's trading, well, we don't have a ton of news. We have no news. So there's no news. A couple of Fed speakers, but no real news to drive the market tomorrow. So we'll see how the market feels about it. It's still earnings season. We still have this the rainy situation, which is getting resolved one way or the other. So it's oil is a little bit to the upside right now. They traded just a little bit higher. They're trading at 93. They were up to 95 for a while. But so oil is kind of still holding in the 90s, and I would just start on this one from the long side. I'm going to buy weakness down at the 45s and 35s for rotations up. 60s could also be a buying opportunity, but I would be a little bit more aggressive. Not going to be aggressive on the short side at all. If anything, and during the day session, a small retest failure kind of trade is kind of what I would be looking for. Now, I did take one trade on the NASDAQ since the last time we spoke. And the trade I took was this guy right there. And this is the afternoon. So this is after these guys have been taking it higher. They failed to extend to the upside. We started seeing some traction to the downside. And after they took out this volume weighted mean, they took it out with a bit of conviction, bounced off it, reverse retested it. And on the way down here, I wasn't that aggressive on the short, but I still had to fade some heat in that thing. That bar right there was kind of fading some heat. And then I was borderline getting stopped out. I tightened up my stop because I figured like shit, if I'm wrong on that one, they can just keep rocketing higher. So I just got in tight on the stop, and it didn't hit the stop, but it was pretty darn close. And then they ran it lower, and I got out as they started taking out that low, started extending a bit. Looks like it was stalling. I just got out of it. $33 on that trade, one trade on the Nasdaq. Now, I could have potentially been more aggressive sitting in that thing, but it's been so volatile. So you get these move down and then hard retracement and so on and so forth. So I wasn't expecting a lot of follow through at all. We did get some, but I wasn't expecting a lot of it. That's why I got out early on that trade. But I mean, Nasdaq is very much the same situation as the ES. At this point, looking at buying opportunities against the 350s, 360s, the 280s down to this 220 level. Rotations back up again. And if you look at the capital flow in the Nasdaq, you have this level, the 300s down to the 220s. So they're really below the 280, 290s here. We are taking out that upper support area. That would be the low of the day session. You can see that they traded just a little bit below that area. And now in the F1, the areas are not that precise. It's just the general areas, so you know where they're likely to find resistance and support. So I would take them with a grain of salt. However, looking at the if they do pull back, I would be looking to buying against that 350, 360s, against the 280, 290s, probably all the way down here to the 220s. I would be I would probably shift my bias below the 280s and then still look for that last opportunity at the 220s if they take it lower. Now, we are still starting in this one from the long side. We haven't really retraced that hard. We got some weakness, but as you can tell, they found support and then they're heading then drifting right back up again. So I'm thinking the bias is to the long side, both the NIAS and Nasdaq. And as long as the day session extends, and they have extended today, there's no doubt about that. And we're just going to stay on the long side of this. So that's the ESS one trade on the Nasdaq on these two charts. And looking at the bond market, I did take one trade earlier on today. That was this guy at before the London close. It stalled pretty good here at the 03s, and that was at support. So you had CD at support. So I got long on that one, and I got 2 ticks out of that trade. I wasn't going to be more aggressive. I was expecting a faster retracement. It didn't happen. It kind of stuck in a range here. So I just clicked in order to get out at the high of that range, the 02s, or what is it, that 05s. So I got 2 ticks out of that trade, so $62 on that trade. And then you can see what happened. It popped a little bit higher than all this whole move to the downside. That was something, you know. Didn't expect that one. So hence I didn't try to trade it. I was expecting more of a range bound, boring day, but that move came out of nowhere, so kind of surprising. But as you can tell, once they repriced it down to the 2022s, yes, absolutely going sideways. Just around 22, 24s is where the mode is. So that's going back and forth. It's repricing, probably going to close roundabout here as well. So this would be tempted to get a short in here, but late in the day when it move like this, and especially if it's being repriced for some reason, it's not going to be swinging back and forth. It's going to reprice it and then freaking stall, and that's exactly what this thing is doing. Now on the cryptos, I did take one more trade on the cryptos. I took a Bitcoin trade. That was this guy over here. I was in that thing here after this one was starting a minute, and you can see here, you see Nasdaq starting to head higher, and so Bitcoin kind of follows Nasdaq when the ES indices, especially in Nasdaq, pretty much trades pretty correlated, I think. So after they start taking it high, I tried a long trade here. I had my stop below the rotation down here, and then rode this one up here for a nice $7 trade. So that was that one, and it popped even higher. But I was down like 10. I'm down 3 on that one. So that's about what I did on that guy. I went to one more trade. All right, so. Overall, a little bit to the downside on the cryptos, but I was down a whole lot, probably twice that earlier on today. So I made about half of it back, half of it and change back. So that's you have it. Sometimes, but I can't. I mean, there's no point of being stupid aggressive trying to make money back. I still have to find good trades, and you still have to make it work. So yeah, sometimes you get those trades. If you just have to be patient right away. This morning I was sloppy, and then I immediately paid the price for it. And that's how it is. You're sloppy. You don't pay attention to what you're looking at. You kind of just take the shot and click in a trade, and you'll be on the losing side every time. So there you have it. Anyway, we'll leave it there, guys. I'll see you back in the morning, Friday. Thank God it's Friday, and then we'll wrap up this week. Alrighty, guys. Have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.